Welcome back, everybody. Happy New Year. I hope y'all having a amazing day so far. This is like the first day of 2025. So many things are coming. Minecraft movie, GTA 6, and so much more. New videos on this channel and stuff like that. Today I'm going to show you an opening that I still play. I started playing this opening on 1100, high level hundreds to be completely exact. It has been looked down as complicated and weird. But recently, this opening has risen in popularity, and it is known as the GRÜNFELD Defense. And I'm going to show you how to play this opening, because I play this opening. It's very simple, and Gotham Test has also made a video about it. I'll put a link of his video in my description because I can. I will just I'll put his channel name under the description. You can go check out his video. He explains it way better than I do. But I just want to give my experience on this. And I'm going to show you a couple sample games at the end of this. So, let's get on to this. Alright, this opening is with the black pieces. And by the end of this, I'm sure you're going to like the GRÜNFELD. You might watch a couple of videos on the GRÜNFELD. I don't know. We're going to start. They're going to play d4. Now, obviously, there's a lot of you people outside that hate d4. And y'all go for e4 and or c4 or even f4 sometimes, the bird, but like whatever. You will play knight f6. They play c4, you play g6, and then they place their knight here. But you're not gonna go for the king's Indian, which is bishop g7. Otherwise, they're gonna grab the entire center with e4. So you're gonna play d5. This is the GRÜNFELD. The whole idea of the GRÜNFELD is to give white a big center and then attack it from a large distance, hyper modern. And there's only a couple moves that will define how you play. If white takes on d5, you will take back like this. The main line is this. This is the line. White has these 3 pawns in the center, and you're going to play. You're going to consist of a couple of moves. You will play the moves as follows: g7. And now white is not going to play like this. You will castle, and then you will play the move c5, undermine the center, and if they take, you can trade queens, and then, fuck them up, and fuck up their castle rights if they haven't castled yet. And then another move is knight c6, I forgot the coordinate, and of course, bishop g4. Now in this current variation, we don't have that because the pawn is, like, in front there. And now I'm gonna play just like to show you how it's gonna look like. Let's say this pawn is not there, as well as queen a5. These are the moves that you're going to play. Of course, now this ain't gonna look like this, or you will. Otherwise, you'll just hang a bishop. So let's start off with a very simple variation. What happens is they take, and they take with the knight. This already a mistake. You just take back with the queen. And you will just develop like normal. Like, these are just normal looking moves that your opponent will play. They will develop, you play your normal, here you can play c5, here you can play this move, and if they attack you can trade. And if they do this, I mean, you can trade here, but if they don't do that, you can, and they develop, you can play c5. Even if they like castle here, for example, you still can play c5. I mean, there's no problem. There's lots of tactical shots in the GRÜNFELD. And here in this case, you can trade the knight, and if they take, you just trade. And you have this very fine position. Now, why do we play c5? Let's go back to this position. You have the option to play c5 here as well. Because after you take, then there's this, of course, but you can also do this and derail your castling rights. I mean, your opponent's castling rights. And then white will have a very difficult time protecting this pawn. If you play like a normal developing move like the bishop, you already have an advantage. Why? Because you're just passive. And white's king is just stuck in the center and can't castle. That's just one of the points in the GRÜNFELD. Now, if you don't want to rush and you're like gonna do this like normal, like you want to castle, of course you can. Of course you can castle. And here, c5 again. Now, if they castle here, you can take, you can ignore, you can pin with, of course, the standard looking move. This move, If they take, you always hear you either trade queens or you can just do a couple tactical shots and win the pawn back. If they do something like this, then you just counterattack their queen, for example. And, they might just retreat like this probably. But this hangs a pawn and traps a queen. They will go aggressive sometimes. And you can just already win stuff like this. You just do this already. Like, if they just lazily take back like this, you could just untrap your knight. If they attack, you can just win pawns. And intermediates normally don't know what to do in the GRÜNFELD. For example, back here where they take the knight, that's exactly what intermediates do. And I've seen that happen in my level quite a lot. I don't get to play the rest of the GRÜNFELD because of that. But the moves stay normal. You will play this. You will play... you will just castle. Then... example, they can go here. You're gonna go c5. Don't hang your queen. You can go here this time, even if the queen wasn't here, and they play something more natural, like try to castle. c5 is really strong here as well. Developing your knight here is good, and if they take, you can take back or trade queens. Taking back is not bad. It's still fine. As well as this bishop move, and you're just fine. And if they attack you, then you can either trade or go back. Trade if you want. And your hero bishop will just win you something, and you will go back. Even though they take this, you still have a very solid position. Like here, it doesn't have any other choice than to trade. Like trading like this, it's fine. And yeah. Now the position here is very equal. You have advantage 0.5. The opponent has the advantage 0.5, but it's very obscure why it's 0.5. You'll just get out of the way, and if they keep attacking like this, you just defend and you're fine. And if they do this, you're just gonna come inside. And white has lots of problems. And no, your rook will not hang. And look at this. This position is just beautiful. And if you take this, and look. Bishop and knight versus the bishops. However, it's a very balanced position here. This is how the endgame can look like. Now, let's go back to standard theory. Now, sometimes, instead of capturing, they will delay the move. They will play e3, for example. We're not in a rush. We just play. And if they still delay their capture, well, we're not in a rush. We're just going to castle. And if they still don't do anything, well, now c5. And if they take this, then you already have tactical shots like this. This is, for example, a tactical shot. And if they're congrats, you got 2 pawns, well, suddenly you're going to get forked. And if you do nothing about it, if you don't do this, then I'm just going to take you, win back. You can trade your hero bishop here, doesn't matter. Suddenly you can also start pinning stuff. Oh, never mind, that's not a good move. Suddenly you can just pin everything. You can win, you can cast in on your investments, you can develop, and you have a very good position. So you're not in a rush. All the moves are normal. All the moves, even this move here, these are all the moves. You just play your moves on a list, on any of your list or whatever you've put them on your list. Now, what happens if they take? I've already shown you, but there's there's also this. Apparently, this is a thing. Like I said, I've seen that e3 as well. Let's just do your normal thing. Just go here. If they refuse to take your knight, just go here. You can take them, but taking them is probably the better choice because this is just a large pawn chain with this backward pawn on c3. It has to move sometime. And you just play normally. You just put your bishop behind here. You can play c5 now. If you play c5 now and they take, then you already have tactical shots. Like this. You fork and you win a rook. So instead they will play they'll develop. And you will just develop. And if they go here, you just castle. Look at your position. And if they take now here, well, you could just derail their castling plans. And if they block, you win a bishop. Congrats. You can't get simpler than that. Now, there's also some other variations that I'll get to. Other times, they will just not put the knight on c3. They will just not play this. They will play something like this, for example. Again, Normal. And now if they decide to put the knight, now you go for a nice little d5. And you do your normal stuff. Nothing changes. It's like you're transposed into this position, and you are like gonna play c5 here. You can castle, and if they take, you derail their opponent's castling plans. If they don't take, they like develop. Then you can like here can take. Actually, here taking is the best move because you won't lose a pawn. You can develop, you can pin, you can thrive. They can lock down your bishop, sure, but you got all of this. And if they block, well, you just go back and attack. And if they go here, just develop. And you got a fine position. And if they attack you, just like it happens here, just take the knight. It doesn't matter. Just take the knight. And you win a pawn. You win like this. But you can also lose your queen, so don't do that. So go here and prepare the move. If you defense, you take anyway, apparently. Straight up, you just take anyway, like that pawn is completely free. You take. And you got a position looking like this. Minus 1.11. It's a good position. Sometimes they just never play the knight move. They'll just never. Like you play this and they play like this, and then it's a King's Indian now. But the plans stay the same. You're gonna play your d5. Take. And take here. You can do that. And if they do that, they lose a bishop. So in this case, yeah, it is good. They can start developing. Yes, you can take the bishop here. Doesn't really quite matter. They can do this top edge move. I don't know how many people will do that. Probably some people will retreat so they don't lose their bishop. Normal moves apply. C5. And if they take, you win a rook. Like straight, you just win a rook. It's over. And they have to do this, and they have to do this, and they lose like a major chunk of their advantage because of this move. And if you block, then you win a pawn. Or there's even worse than that because of this ridiculous move. Just a constant threat of you taking the pawn. And if they try to attack the knight, then you can try to counterattack. And this is just a massive, massive L for white. It can go from bad to worse. But not all the time will they do that. Sometimes they will just put their knight like this, and then you're gonna... Oh, that's the King's Indian. That is the GRÜNFELD. You're gonna do this, and that position will just flourish. Now, there's also a different variation, I think, where they, instead of putting knight here, they just they play e3 here. Like, that's a thing. They play e3, and then there's something like this. Oh, they never play c4. Sometimes they just never play c4, and they just go here. Sometimes they do that. Yes, you can go here, and they go for e4. You could go for another d5, and if they don't push into something like this, I think, I've seen that as well. It's a modern now. As you can see, your position can transpose. Not many people play into the GRÜNFELD. Now, there's another system in the GRÜNFELD. Another variation for the white pieces that can transpose into. Let's go to Explorer real quick to show you. I don't normally go to the Explorer. Alright, now this is the GRÜNFELD. There's like knight f3, delaying. There's e3 here, I told you. Just playing normal. And then there is like knight f3 still delaying. As you can see, if we go here to the Explorer, there's not many people biting for this. I mean, yeah, sure, there's like 23,000 people that bite, and there's also 50,000 people that delay. As you can see, it balances out. Not many people want to get an island. There's also bishop f4 here, which is, I've never seen that before. But if I told you what you're gonna do here, you're gonna do, of course, you're gonna go here. And you're just gonna continue your normal like thing. You're gonna continue your normal GRÜNFELD. Like, let's go here so I don't get bothered with the Explorer. Let's go here, bishop f4, bring man attack. Do the same thing, this. And if they like do nothing, you just play c5. Yes, they can win the pawn, but you got this, and it's a massive danger. And if they take, whoops, you can sacrifice the knight. And if they take it, you take this, and you win. Because if they take, you win a rook, and you destroy their castling plans. Boom. And you also get to trade queens. Boom. Look at the position. You got a rook. You got a rook for a bishop, which is amazing. It's a good trade. Now, I think there's one more system, but I forgot how it goes. But you're not gonna see too much. It's like it brings the knight like this way, and the bishop goes out. Like it's just not gonna happen. It's not commonly seen on below 1,000 or below 1,500. You don't have to know it, but the main takeaway is you just know your moves. You just know what to do here. Once you go into the GRÜNFELD, you have to know what happens if they do like this. And if you go to this, you have to know this. You just have to know the key moves, the key ideas, and the key moves. The moves are simple. Castles or instant c5, castles and then c5. So you can see c5 is a very important move. Like if they take, first of all have this, but even if you don't see that, you also got this, and then you win the pawn back. Like if you don't see the fork, you also got that. Straight up. So they're gonna develop. Again, if I asked you what's the move here, you would probably go knight c6. Logical. What is the push? Fork over there. There's like a fork over there. Yeah. What if the castle? What now? What about, I heard about like queen a5 or something like that. The moves play themselves. That's the point. They can't advance their pawns because you're gonna fork, or win a pawn and then attack a rook. Like, the moves just play themselves. Now, I did that so this doesn't happen, but still, even if that move isn't played and something like this happens, the moves just play themselves. Yes, now they can boot you off, but like, it's fine. This position is fine. You can go here. And that's just +2 because of the free bishop, but that's the only reason why it's +2. In this position, you have to go back like this, which is nasty. And then there's this move. Just nobody's gonna play that. Just nobody's playing this move. And then the idea is to win this. And if you do this, then you just sacrifice. There's like, what do you mean sacrifice? A free bishop. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So the moves just play themselves. You just gotta remember the moves. The moves are, again, after you play this. The moves are c5, knight c6, bishop g4, but probably later, bishop g7, and castle, in an order. The order is this. First you play the bishop here, then you castle, and then you play c5, try and get some tactical ideas growing. Queen a5, sometimes it's going to be a useful move. Bishop g4, pinning, and if nothing happens, knight c6. And this is amazing. This position is good. These are the moves that you need to remember, and you're fine. Now I'm going to show you a couple sample games, and we're going to close off this video like that. Okay, I know I said I'm going to show you games. I'm not just going to show you 1 or 2 games. I'm going to show you like 5 or 6. Probably. I'm not sure. The point is, I still play this opening, and I'm still going to be playing this opening for quite some time, because it's creative, and it's unique. I know there's people saying it's complicated, but like, there's a guy called ChessPage1 that said it's complicated. Yes, I watched that guy, but like, if you know the moves, now you might need to study, but not that much. Like, if you're like 1,400, you might not need to study as much, but you just need to know the moves. And, oh, sorry about that with the phone. I don't know why that happened. Whatever. Yeah. I played this ever since I was 1100. So, and I didn't study at all. I just watched like one Gotham chess video and I learned the entire thing, kind of. And I have not spent a single dollar or euro or whatever your currency is. So I have a classic GRÜNFELD with the knight takes d5, queen takes d5 variation. This is the variation that's like the easiest, because the moves, like I said, like almost all the variations are easy. There's like one setup that is like almost never seen on intermediate level, but I forgot to show it to you because you can just watch Gotham Chess video, because it explains more in depth. If you want, just go watch it. I'm gonna put it on the comments. Knight f3, bishop g7. You know, the moves just play themselves. Bishop g7, castles, c5, bishop g4, knight c6. They take, we take. There's no tactical shots here. I'm joking. There's no tactical shots here. We can take here, but we just counterattack the queen because we have like open rook files. The D and C files are open for grabs. And then bishop f5 will retreat a little bit, and rook d1. And apparently taking here is fine, but I did not take. I just went here. Basically, I'm setting up a trick situation, forcing a rook trade where I control the entire file. Queen c4, queen trade, and knight a5 has to go back. And bishop d3, bishop takes d3, rook takes d3, rook b1, rook d1 check. And the king is a little on hiding. He's hiding now. Knight c4, b3 and knight a3. He lost his rook here. I mean, you have the option of either losing your rook completely for free or going here. But then I will just go back. But if I do this, then there's... Yeah, I told you. Like, you have the option of losing the rook either for completely free or... never mind. What am I talking about? No. I forgot that the bishop at g7 exists. So, you either have the option of taking... what am I doing? What am I... Look, I'm a little drunk. I don't know what's wrong. You will just you lose a rook for a knight. You lose the trade. So this and this. Yes, you can take a free pawn, whatever. But I'm just gonna grab all your pawns. Look like this. Boom. And attack. Boom. A trade here. It doesn't matter that my hero bishop is gone. Like, this is a winning endgame. Boom. And 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 slowly and slowly and slowly, I sacked my bishop here because, look, this is a complicated idea. Count his pawns. He has 2 pawns. They are 4 squares away. 1 pawn is blocked. 1 pawn is 4 squares away. Yes, 5. Whatever. My pawn is 3 squares away. I sack. It's still 3 squares away, but the problem here is, even if you give this check, for some reason the engine doesn't show the lines. Whatever. It's just stuck. I'm gonna unglitch it next round. Even if you do this, and you go here, you're just slow. You're just slow, and you're losing. And the game ended with him taking my pawns, a1 equals queen, and g5, and in this position, my opponent resigned. Because there is this. I think that's checkmate. Is that checkmate? Yeah, that's checkmate, yeah. Alright, that is, the reason it's not, the engine is, like, stuck, I have to, like, unbug it. So, let's go to the next game. Alright, this is the second game. I unglitzed the engine. I forgot to show you the rating of last game. It was, like, 1200. Anyway, here we go. d4, knight f6, c4, g6, e3, d5. Yes, I go for it. I'm just go, I don't rush. C takes d5, knight takes d5. And we transpose into GRÜNFELD, but it's a King's Indian, according to this. Bishop g7, bishop b5 check, c6, bishop c4. Chasing off the bishop. This GRÜNFELD goes a little different this time, for reasons. Bishop d3, a6, queen b3, c4, and bishop e6, pinning. Queen c2, queen d7, knight f3. Rook d8, t takes b5, c takes b5, and bishop c4, rook c8. Bishop takes e6, queen takes... No, we don't take the queen. Even though, yeah, we can take the queen because we're under attack. So we do this instead, queen e4, and he hangs the queen in one move. Knight g5, queen takes c2, and it's GG's. I know I told you I'm going to show you 5 games, but I'm trying to find games now. I'm trying to search my archive for games. So let me do that real quick, and we'll come back to this. And anyway, let's go. And we're going off to the final sample game. I said I'm gonna bring like 5 games, but I'm gonna make 3 games because I'm gonna find more. To show you. Plus, I want you to experiment with the opening. Knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, d5, e3. The patience variation, and I'm castle, knight f3. Now, here's what I played c5. I went for the really tactical shots in the GRÜNFELD, like that go like this, and then boom, you're gonna lose something. Like this, boom, boom, block, boom, boom, and boom. But instead, I went for the bishop g4 instantly. Castles, rook e8. That's a miss. I should have gone for this, which is way better than what the engine suggests. I'm gonna be honest. But whatever. Rook e8. h3, bishop takes c3, bishop takes f3, c6. c5 here is still good. Even though they take this, you can either take like this or still go for this. I mean, it's not as good, but you can try to win these pawns back immediately. Like this. And you can like put the rook here, and if they go here, you can just win them back, and boom, boom, and you're equal again. No, c6, queen b3. Look, this was the first game I played with the GRÜNFELD, so I didn't really know the plans. I was still trying to learn it. Not during a live game, that's illegal, but like during, during the investigation phase of an opening. Queen takes c4 is a mistake. This was a way better move because there is this. And then suddenly I'm getting squashed, but he doesn't see that. Knight bd7, d5, knight b6, queen b3, and c takes d5, e4, d takes e4, knight takes e4, queen c7, bishop e3, rook a to c8, rook a to c1, queen e5, take. There's a strong pressure on that pawn. Decides to take like this, boom, 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 boom. Rook takes c8, and I have a rook on the open file. He can win this pawn, doesn't matter. I'm gonna go here, rook b1, bishop f6, bd5, bishop d4, rook b7, hangs this. First of all, we play a preparatory move because I'm gonna get demolished. He goes here, go here, and boom like this, and back here. Here, you're probably gonna recognize this game. I'm not sure if we had this game on a different video. I think we probably did, but you might recognize this game. King h2, bishop e5 check, g3, rook f3, king z2, rook takes c3, king f2, rook h3, bishop c4, rook a3, and he hangs a rook, and we win. Thanks to a resignation. Again, the mistake that I did on this opening is I did not go for the traditional line. After this, I went here. I should have gone here first in order to enable like these tactical shots in the GRÜNFELD, like with queen a5. And if they castle, I'm just gonna plan my knight. And if they insist, then I'll take like this. Oh, I did not castle. What? Went like this. Oh, now if I castle, yes, this stop engine. And if I have to take back, I take back like this, and boom. Here we can trade or go like this. And if he takes, I could do this, and I have a really strong knight. I didn't go for that. But still, we had a good position, sort of, because we stayed on the moves. We played most of the moves, but if I played all of them, I would have had a way better position. That's all. Again, Happy New Year. Hope you enjoy your time with your loved ones before school starts, or your job, who knows? Maybe you're already at work, watching this video at work, who knows? Most of my audience is like 26 years old. And that's... okay. Alright. I hope you found the new opening. Again, I'm gonna put Gotham Chess's GRÜNFELD video on the comments, and you can watch it. You give it a shot, see how he explains it, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.